Call Haloyim Yahweh, Bahasham Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. This is your fellow servant Tazawar, back with another lesson. First, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, whom rule well and from whom we learn his truth. Shalom to you Akim who are not in GMS, but are pushed in likewise doctrine, in spirit, and in truth with all sincerity. To you few sisters that are listening and learning, as well as you Akim, you speckled birds that are scattered among the nations looking like the other nations, as well as the rest of the hopeful elect, to you I say Shalom. This lesson is going to be about upcoming events and miracles, okay, that will be happening in the earth as of recent and those that are soon to come. Okay, the things that have already taken place and those that are soon to follow. All right, that will be, we say land backing, but for the term of, Uncle E, I'm going to go ahead and say the piggyback off of his technology. All right. In other words, certain things are being rolled out now and within the next few months that will act as a catalyst, okay? A driving force for greater so-called miracles, okay? Now these miracles are filled with deceit, okay? So with that being said, let's get right into the lesson before I start rambling. Let's start off in the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, and let's start at 6, all right? And now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time, okay? For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. All right? And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power, signs, and lying wonders. All right? Let's go up and break some of this down. Let's get it in the NLT so it's a little more clear for some who have difficulty with the King's English in the KJV. All right. And it reads, this is 2 Thessalonians, Salakia, chapter 2 and verse 6 in the New Living Translation, the NLT. And as you know, what is holding him back? For he can be revealed only when his time comes. All right. For this lawlessness is already at work secretly, and it will remain secret until the one who is holding it back, Salakia, and it will remain secret until the one who is holding it back steps out of the way. Well, who holds things back. Okay? First off, who is the him, the he? All right? Verse 7 gives you a clue. All right? The lawless one. Okay? The lawless one. Which laws? Huh? Is he not akin to? The laws of the Heavenly Father. All right? They don't operate under those laws. So this would be, one could argue, anybody who does not keep or does not operate under the laws of the Heavenly Father and His Son, right? Yahweh Wa Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. However, this is a specific, this is talking about somebody specific because it says holding him back. All right, not them. The him is whom the world is given to. All right, for the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, roughly paraphrased. So if you look and you see who is in control of the earth in this present time, who manages the resources in this present time, who has councils and meetings and summits, all right, over like in Europe at very high points, buzzword, Europa, all right, that land was named after the Queen Europa, Europe, like in Davos, Switzerland, all right, who has made a conglomerate of nations, okay, a confederacy of nations. The scriptures say they are confederate against us, all right. Now, there are some nations like the Ishmaelites and Ammonites and some Hamites that were being mentioned, but the main culprit we're talking about here is Esau, Edom, all right, the tents of Edom, Edom. Okay. Which is the house of Esau. Okay. Now, what does it say? For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Okay. Salaki, let me go back to the NLT. It says, for this lawlessness is already at work secretly. All right. Why secretly? Because he have deceived the nations. Okay. Deceived the whole world. Right? Because the scriptures say what? Matter of fact, we'll get that later. But to reference it, it says, if at all possible, he would deceive the very elect. All right? We'll pull that script soon. Anyway, the question is, who is holding it back or holding him back? The Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and His Son. Okay, that's who is holding this man back. Okay? The Heavenly Father sets all bounds. The bounds of the realms or the dimensions, the bounds of the heavens, okay, the firmament, the heavens, the bounds of the planet Earth, the bounds of the sea. Where the sea line, where the ocean hits the shore, the shoreline. Okay, time. He's bound man to have a specific or not surpass, we'll say it that way. He's bound man to not surpass a certain amount of years in the earth, 120 years, right? That's pursuant to the book of Genesis. I believe in the fifth or sixth chapter. Okay, but anyway, And then when you go into the book of Revelation, we read about the angels that were given charge over the seals, okay, to loose the seals or to remain holding that seal. Okay. Anywho, verse 9, Salakia, verse 8, this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 8. And then shalt that wicked be revealed, okay, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Okay? Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. All right, now let's break that down. Okay? Well, let me go back up to 7. We know that iniquity is sin on top of sin. All right? And that's why over here in the NLT it says lawlessness, because when you have no laws, you just run rampant and all types of folly. And we see that happening today in the planet Earth, especially here in the West. Okay, with the whole cis gender thing, gender identity thing, the alphabet, the rainbow sliding, alphabet soup drinking crowd. Okay, anyway, that's just one example. But anyway, 8, verse 8, it says in the NLT, then the man of lawlessness. Okay, that's how you know it's talking. This is not speaking of a singular man, but a group of people. Okay, the man of lawlessness will be revealed, but the Lord, the Adawan, Yahweh Shai, will kill him with the breath of his mouth and destroy him by the splendor of his coming. All right. Well, first, he's going to spiritually kill this devil. All right. I mean, this devil's already dead spiritually. All right. But over here where it says on the left side of the page in the KJV where it says, and then shalt that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. Well, who's his mouth? Huh? The word, right, of the Heavenly Father, whom is Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, right? Furthermore, we know that Hamashiach Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. Okay? And that spirit has been given or placed into select group of men, okay, to prophesy his coming and his future rulership and kingdom that will take place here on the earth. And with that being said, that means that those who are currently in rulership and reign over the earth cannot stand, okay, because Yahweh Shai has to take them down. Okay, two kingdoms cannot Salakia. Two kingdoms cannot rule in the earth at the same time. And right now we see a power struggle among men, right? It's between two Edomite factions. All right, we have NATO, which is the West, and then we have BRICS, right, which is headed by Gog and Magog, Russia. All right, and they have made allies with China, and China think they finna get a sweet deal, you know, out of playing chess, but they get no prizes either. Okay. But their conglomerate that they're building with the BRICS are two competing factions with Edomites at the head that we see, NATO and BRICS Union, okay, BRICS Nation. Like I said, at the head of those two powers are Esau, Edom, okay? But all of that will be wiped away when Yahweh Shai comes. Okay. Furthermore, the spirit of his mouth, all right, the spirit of Yahweh Shai, the spirit of prophecy, has been given, like I said, to a select group of men who are out on the highways and byways, teaching and preaching and waking up, all right, those that have been sealed, the remnant elect, okay, and that great multitude that will receive this word and take heed, okay? Take heed of what? To not be deceived by the miracles, which we finna get into. All right? In verse 9 it says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. Well, we know that Satan means adversary, right? Let's get some proof here. Working of Satan, right? Satanas, right here. Adversary, one who opposes another in purpose or act. All right. The prince of evil spirits. Okay. The inveterate adversary of power and Hamashiach. All right. He incites apostasy. All right. From power and to sin, which is all being controlled by the Heavenly Father. Okay. He controls both the left and the right as pursuant to the book of First Kings, okay, and First Chronicles. You can go read that on your own. The story about Ahab, all right, or Ahab, and a lying spirit being sent out. Anywho, whose coming is after the working of Satan, okay, with all power. The power has been given to this man, okay, because it says right here in verse 9. Let's go back up to 8 and read this in the NLT. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8 in the NLT on the right side of the page. Then it says, then the man of lawlessness will be revealed, but the Lord, the Adawan, right, Yahweh Shai, will kill him with the breath of his mouth and destroy him by the splendor of his coming. This man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. What does counterfeit mean? It means fake, phony, fiat, just like the currency. All right, not real, artificial. Okay? So an artificer makes artificial shit. Just like artificial, you can plug in the word, right? Intelligence. Okay? Power and signs and miracles. The miracles will be the things that we see coming now, right around the corner in the next few months, and over the next year or two. You know, if Yahweh Shai don't come back then, he may speed up the time, Lord willing, Yahweh Ratazah. All right, Bahasham Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. But those miracles, that's going to be in the medical field. So the same things that he's doing, he's trying to, in this present time, he's trying to imitate, all right, the miracles of Yahweh Shai by restoring sight to the blind, all right, giving legs and movement, mobility to the lame, hearing to the deaf. Okay? And how will that be done? Via technology. Via technology. In the medical field, medical advancement. Okay? So not artificial nerve endings, nanotech, bioengineering. All right. They told you that the fourth industrial revolution will be man changing, right? And merging with machines. So we have these IDs that will be rolling out. Social scores, social credit scores, virtual ID, face recognition, right? So beware those deep fakes and all that stuff, man. Because they're right around the corner. That Frito-Lay, the charagma. The charagma. You can look that word up in the Greek. All right, it's an incision. All right, an implant. RFID charagma, RFID Frito-Lay. All right, that C-hip, as the elder calls it. Right? If y'all haven't seen this series on Netflix, it's called Altered Carbon. Y'all should watch that. They have something on there called Stacks, you know, where they try to upload a human consciousness into a what they call a stack, which is basically an oversized digital device, chip or whatever. So check that out. Okay. Anywho, I was on this verse too long talking. But anyway, all of that will be done with the power of Satan. All right, those signs and miracles. And again, it's all counterfeit. It's fake. Artificial. From there, let's go to Matthew 24. And 24 is what I want. You can read up to 23, but 24. For there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. All right. Behold, I have told you before, right? Right here in the NLT, it says, for false messiahs and false prophets will rise up and perform great signs and wonders, so as to deceive, if possible, even power's chosen ones. All right. See, I have warned you about this ahead of time. Right, that's the verse I was talking about we was finna get. Okay, but that's pretty self-explanatory, because this man professeth to be God. He's drawn himself as God, right? Put himself in the seat of God, of the Most High, Yahweh, right? That word God goes into power, okay? That's why when I come across it, you usually hear me say power and not God. But this man has put himself in the power seat. And he's also, like I've said, illustrated himself as the Heavenly Father. As well as his son. Okay, and he's done all that just to tear it all down to say, just like Noah Yuval Harari, or however you say his name, that they no longer need the Heavenly Father. They can make their own water if there's a drought. They can cause it to rain because they have the technology now to manipulate those weather patterns. Okay? They have technology now where they can create life in a test tube. Artificial wombs are right around the corner. All right? They've already been experimenting very heavily with the changing of kind. Right? Now, we know that this is a 100% failure rate. But again, their technology will grow because the Heavenly Father will allow it to grow just so he can do what he did in Egypt here. Right? Let's go to Book of James, 3rd chapter. Twelfth verse. Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries? Either a vine, figs? So can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh? Right? Why am I reading this? Well, because the scriptures say, who can make straight what the Most High made crooked? Nobody, only he. And if the Heavenly Father is telling you that this man is wicked and he comes to do the bidding, right, of Satan, the work of Satan, then that means there's no hope for him, okay? Just plain and simple. Ain't no sense in beating around the bush. It ain't no hope for him. He ain't going to change. The leopard can't change his spots. The wicked shall remain wicked and cannot be converted. Okay, but the apostles and elders, you know, and other men have come out here on the highways and byways and have plugged into the unicorn to profess this word and to warn those who will receive it. All right? Those who will receive this message, that's what we out here doing, man. Warning you. So there will be no excuses. Everybody will have heard this in some form or fashion. If you haven't heard it on the street corners, you've heard it on the internet. If you haven't heard it on the internet, you've heard it in controversies. Okay, like with your Nick Cannons, your Kyrie Irvings, your Kanye West. Okay? You've heard the controversy. And soon, if you can't hear it that way, you will hear it when we become labeled as enemies of the state or enemies of whatever power structure, when they start to demonize us and throw us in prison and, put us on out in the mainstream news as, like I said, enemies, the terror kind. Okay. Let's get this. Let's read down to 15. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works of meekness of wisdom. Well, has this taken place with the so-called white man? Look at his policies. Is he meek? No. Is he fair? Does he have good conversation? Let's examine those things that are going on in Gaza right now, over in Palestine, in Israel. Let's see. But if ye have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not, and lie not against the truth. All right, we know this is speaking of the gospel and the apostles and people that are professing the gospel. But this can also be applied to that wicked one who is pushing his gospel in the earth, which the world is starting to see how much of a hypocrite this man is. Okay? People call him out, E. Soon he will have no choice but to come down with great wrath, like the scriptures say, because his lies will be cast down. Okay? It's a violent man. Look at his track record. Look at his history. All he knows is violence and destruction, death and destruction, rape, rob, and murder. And now his lies, his signs, wonders, his miracles, right? They're counterfeit, like we just read. And in 2 Thessalonians. All right. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. All right. That's the verse I really wanted. All right. For jealousy and selfishness, this is James 3:15 in the NLT. Okay. For jealousy and selfishness are not God's kind of wisdom. Such things are earthly, unspiritual, and demonic. Okay? That's pretty plain. We see his selfishness. This is why the scriptures say that this man is a niggard at his own table. Let's get one more. We're going to close it out. Let's grab 2 Corinthians chapter 11. And verse 13. All right. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ, right? Or the apostles of Hamashiach. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. All right. So he's going to do whatever he can to try to justify the means. All right. As long as it brings forth the outcome that he wants. And we see that now with those small hats trying to write themselves into prophecy, trying to, quoting the book of Isaiah, calling the Palestinians the house of Amalek, when we know that the Palestinians are not the house of Amalek. Okay? Those are Ishmaelites over there. All right? Those are Ishmaelites. Okay? And if there are actual Palestinians or Philistines, right? Philistines come from Ham. So either way, they cannot be the house of Amalek. Okay? They're false apostles. And they're deceitful workers. Like I said, trying to write themselves into prophecy. Okay? But it don't fit. So that angel of light that this man has transformed himself into over the last, let's say, 50 to 60 years. All right? Because if you go back any further than that, you start to see the blood on this devil's hands. So that image, that angel of light, is being found out. Okay? Like I said, the nations are mad, man. And so are we. So are we, the true Israelites, whom call on the true Heavenly Father and His Son, the true powers of the universe. Okay? Yahweh, Wah Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. All right? So this, again, be mindful of the deceit and these false miracles. Okay? And don't let this motherfucker smile fool you. All right? Regardless of their age or their outward appearance, regardless of their gender, they're damn devils. You understand me? Every single last one of them. So be mindful. Be vigilant. All right? And remember Shalakia, remember wisdom. All right? Don't eat them Frito-Lays. With that, I'm going to say Shalom.